Welcome everybody. I am freezing cold. This is why I have a blanket on. For this video, I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what I've been thinking and feeling, and yeah, just overall I wanted to process with you guys because again, this is about my journey and how my journey can encourage you and inspire you to be a better you. And if that means I have to go through some things in order for you to understand or learn or whatever, then it's worth it. In case you're new here, my name is Liz Neer and I am on a journey to lose 130 pounds, but overall I'm just trying to get healthy, and it's been a bumpy road, but it's been such a good process and I'm forever grateful. If you're wanting more information on the plan that I follow, you can go down in the description below. I have a video down there. You can check it out and have some of your questions answered. But let's move on to this video since I have a feeling it might be a little long. So I mentioned that I was on a journey to lose 130 pounds. So I want to kind of bring you into a timeline, I guess. So I started this journey back in August 2021. I was 283 pounds and yeah, it was pretty rough. I was feeling very much achy everywhere. It was mostly my knees. I had gut issues. I always had headaches and always had acid reflux. And so those were things that I noticed in myself that I was like, I need to get rid of this. And what kind of tipped me over was seeing a picture with a friend, and I was super disgusted with myself and just really embarrassed. And it would have been 9 months postpartum. So 283 pounds was the most I've ever been. I grew up always struggling with weight. I've always been like the chubby kid around, it seemed. Even though when I look back at pictures now, I'm like, oh, I wasn't even that chubby. But I was definitely compared to all the other kids that I grew up around. And then obviously, you know, you have family that is constantly pointing it out as if it was something that I knew how to change as a kid. I don't know. But again, so it was something in my life that was constantly pointed out even as I got older. And obviously it was really hard and I became very insecure, and I just really struggled, I think, to make connections with people because I felt like that was the first thing they saw, or it was the thing that were going to turn people away. This journey has been a really rocky one, and it started out really, really smooth. It was great. Like I barely struggled. That sounds crazy, and I don't want to give you that expectation for yourself. My journey in the beginning, I was very driven by that insecurity, the fact that I'm fat and ugly and I need to change that. I need to be skinny so that I can be pretty and then everybody else will like me. Through that process, I realized I really hated myself. Like I didn't know that. I didn't know that I hated myself until recently. Or maybe I knew deep down, but I wasn't willing to admit it to myself. And I might cry because this is really hard for me to talk about. But I recently acknowledged the hatred I had built up over the years against myself, when reality is nobody deserves to be treated the way I treated myself. I would cry myself to sleep because I knew that I couldn't wake up the next morning being exactly who I wanted to be or look exactly how I wanted to look. It just wasn't that simple. I cried because I could never find clothes to wear. I just struggled to find anything, and so to save myself from that embarrassment, I started making my own dresses, and I didn't add a waistline because I was like, well, it's gonna hide anything, when it's like that's not how that works. I don't know, if anything, it looked like I was wearing a sack. And I still have those dresses, and part of me just really wants to get them out, but it just freaks me out almost. Like it's triggering because again, I did it out of this is disgusting and I need to cover it up so that nobody will see it. And it hurts my heart that I treated myself that way because I was pretty. I was that part of me wasn't ugly. And I also had a beautiful heart, and I just hated that I struggled so much with accepting my physical, that I thought that getting rid of that would change anything. So just to rewind a little bit, I said that I didn't struggle very much in the beginning because, You know, I was driven by that insecurity of just wanting to get rid of who I was and be this new person, this beautiful, skinny, whatever person. And so that kind of drove me. But then, you know, within the last, like, from December sometime, middle of December, I just really struggled with why I was on this journey, because at some point in December, I hit my goal of like, I finally see myself as skinny, or I finally am at a place that I've never been to. Like, the way I look now, I've never looked this way in my entire life. Not even when I was younger, I can tell you that much. I was always chubby somewhere. And I'm not saying I'm not now, but it's just, it's different how Optavia has kind of sculpted my body, like where the areas that it got rid of the fat or whatever. I look a lot more proportioned. I don't know how else to say that. And so when I got to a place that I was like, wow, I've never been here before and I really love it, I could stop now. When it's like, no, like you still need to get healthy and you still need to take care of your body and you are not at that place yet. But I battled for weeks after December. All of January, I just struggled because it was like I don't know, but I had some kind of identity crisis, I would say. I didn't know my why. And so I felt like I had no drive, which again, motivation only lasts for so long. And so for me, it quickly went away when I realized I liked my body and I liked how I looked. Very shallow, I know, but if it helped me get to where I am now, I mean, I'm glad I had some drive at least, because now I get to work on the deep stuff when, I mean, I should have been doing it before, but it got me here. So I'm appreciating the journey for how it was, but I need to grow from it now. So the other night I was scrolling TikTok, and basically what I do in order to like do my reels and whatever, I kind of scroll and I look for new sounds, trending sounds. I look for something that sounds like me or whatever. It's just kind of my creative way of doing it. So I scroll a little bit and then I find one, and then like I find a sound that I want to use, and I'm like, okay, well now what can I do with this? What can I add, or how can I make this me? And I found this one exactly how I did it. You can go to my Instagram if you want to check it out, or my TikTok, wherever. The link is down in the description below. But I came across this TikTok where the girl said, why are you sad? You lost so and so amount of pounds and you're really pretty or whatever. And then it said, because she deserved to be pretty too. And then you insert a picture of what you did look like or what you were like. I was like, I need to do this. But at the time I was just like, oh yeah, this will be a good one. And so, but when I was creating it and putting all those videos together of me now, and a video that I found several days ago of me at 276 pounds, it was insane. Like I put it together and I just kept rewatching it and I bawled. I just cried because I'm like, I really hated her. Why? What did she ever do to you? But it really triggered me, because again, it just unlocked that realization of I really hated her. And I never wanted to admit that to myself, because again, nobody deserves to be treated how I treated myself. So through that creative process, I figured out that I deserve to be loved. I deserve to love myself. I am worthy of good things. I found Optavia, and it was the best thing that has happened to me, other than Jesus, of course. But for something that I struggled with my entire life, and to finally have found a quote solution to my struggle, where I could just eat mindlessly and I don't have to think about what I'm putting in my mouth while I'm processing through my journey. Again, everybody's journey is going to look different. It's been 5 months for me, and that's only the beginning. I finally realized what my why is. I told y'all that I was searching for the last several weeks what my why is, because I didn't really know like what was going to keep me in the groove of I can do this. I can lose the last 40 something pounds that I have to go, and move into maintenance and whatever that looks like after. But I couldn't. Every time I tried to process anything in those few weeks, I felt stuck. And I felt embarrassed and I felt stupid because here I am coaching people and, through their health journeys, and I don't even have myself together. How can I encourage and empower other women or men to take control of your life when my life was literally out of control? It was literally in shambles, is what it felt like. Even though I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, you're being dramatic. Yeah, you fell off a couple times, but it really wasn't as bad as it feels. But it feels terrible because it's me letting myself down over and over and over again. It's me slipping back into old habits. It was me letting her come out. And because I realized that I hated her, I battled really bad internally. And it's almost like I just gave up. And then the next day I would start over, or that night. It all depended. Every day was different. That's heavy. So my husband came home from work. I just told him, like, right away, I really wanted to get it off my chest after I made that TikTok, or after I made that reel and really connected with it. It was almost like a burden was lifted, because I'm like, that's what's been going on this whole time. I just couldn't admit to myself that every time I failed was a trigger because I hated 283-pound me. And through being able to acknowledge that, I realized that, why do you hate her? Liz, why do you hate her? And I couldn't come up with a reason. Because at the end of the day, she got me here. She took the first hardest steps of starting the journey and got me to the other side. And she deserves to get to the end, even though there really isn't an end, but she deserves to be happy. She deserves to be healthy and to be living and thriving. And we deserve to be a part of my family's memories, to be involved in them, not just watch them from the sidelines because we let our life go. I deserve that. I really deserve that. And that's the first time in my life that I could actually admit that I deserve anything. And I realized that as humans, we just struggle. Like, I don't know, why is it so hard for us to accept good things happening to us? And we feel the need to keep it to ourselves instead of celebrate like we should, or we're embarrassed to. I am just so sick of pleasing people. And that's what I've done my entire life because I wanted people to like me. When reality is, God has created me in His image. And if that's not enough, I'm never going to be enough. But it felt like in that moment when everything just clicked for me, when I was crying with my husband and telling him my why, it just felt like a hug from Jesus. And it just felt like He was whispering to me, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. Liz, I made you. And I love you. You are beautiful and you are worthy of life. You are worthy of my love. And accept that. It was just, it was so good. It was just such a beautiful moment. And this is why I wanted to document it, because I know at some point I'm going to fall off again. And I need to remember. And I'm going to come back to this video and I'm going to be encouraged again. This video is going to be like a hug. And maybe you needed this reminder too. And so this is why I wanted to make this video. And it's really vulnerable for me to put this out there, but this is just who I am. This is, I don't do small talk. I don't do How was your day? I do. How's your heart? What have you been thinking about lately? And I'm just ready to be with people who are willing to pursue me the same. People who are willing to ask me the hard questions. People who want to lift me up, and I do the same for them. So again, I tell you my why. My why is because I am worthy, I am deserving, I am loved, and 283-pound me got us to where we are, and she deserves to reach her goals. And now it is no longer a she, it is a we. And I wanted to let you guys know that I really appreciate you. I really appreciate every single one of you, because what's crazy about this journey in all my social medias is the fact that you are here because you want to be. Nobody is forcing you to be here. And it feels like a blessing, because I feel the support, and I do feel the love, and you guys encourage me so much. And you got some tissues? The one time I'm looking for tissues and I can't find them. That's okay. Now, I know that was a complete mess, but that's just kind of how vulnerability works. It's messy, and it's honest and genuine. And that's just kind of how my journey is. It's how my life is. It's messy, but it's real and honest. Truthfully, I don't remember where I left off, but I'm pretty sure I got everything that I wanted to say off of my chest, because I want to move into telling you guys things that I do that have helped me get over the hump of, falling off the wagon. When I'm feeling tempted, when I see something that I want and I know I, quote, can't have it. Again, if you're in the weight loss phase, it's just temporary. It's for a season, okay? It's not forever. I know you're going to feel restricted, but that is just a part of your journey. You have to work through that, because we were created to, eat. We eat to live, not live to eat. So, it's all a mindset thing, okay? But I know some people really do struggle with that. But again, that's just something you have to work through. If, I see something that I want and I'm like, okay, Liz, is this worth it? When you're on this plan, you can easily derail yourself. When a few bites can do it sometimes, depending on what you're eating. But, staying in fat burn is the key to losing the weight that you're trying to lose. And it can take up to 5 days to get back into fat burn. So you want to, think about it. Like, okay, is a bite or two of a brownie worth kicking me out of fat burn? Is it worth 5 days? Not really. I know. But in that moment, it's like, I really want it. But again, it's a fight. It's a battle that you have to choose to face. So number 1, talk to yourself. Stop, challenge, choose. That is a method that I use. It's what they teach us in our many Zooms that we have for accountability. And it's super challenging because, again, if you just stop, usually what it takes is to distract yourself. Okay, so it's not as easy for me because I tend to play my piano or my guitar, but I have my kids too, and they're kind of clingy when I'm doing stuff that is for my personal health. They're very much like, no, you can't do that. But those are ways that I would distract myself, or I would just talk to myself, Number 2, another thing you could do is call your coach. So when you're doing anything, I don't care if you're not doing Optavia, but if you have goals to reach, personal, whatever, you should have somebody that you're accountable to. Otherwise, you're going to fall off and who knows what'll happen. You know what I mean? Like, you're left to your own devices and it doesn't really end well, right? But the best part is that nobody will know. But then again, if that's how you're viewing it, you're never going to reach your goal. Or if you do, it'll take forever. But I mean, I'd rather sooner than later. So I'd rather have accountability. But with signing up with Optavia, you get a coach, and my coach is pretty awesome. Her name is Ashley Kisner, and she has her YouTube too. So definitely go check her out. But she's been such a blessing in my life as far as like being a really good cheerleader. And it always seems like she's so good at talking me off of the edge. Like, what I did for sure, and I still do this, Like we're just really close. But so when I am in the middle of a temptation, I would just call her up. I'm like staring it in the face and I'm like, hey, I decided that I'm going to eat off plan. And she's like, oh, really? So would you rather, like basically she would tell me what I would be trying to tell myself. Except it's different when you're hearing it from somebody else because you kind of have that embarrassment to stop you. I don't know. Does that make sense? That sounds bad because it's not embarrassing. But like when you think about it, all the power that food has over us, that's embarrassing. Okay. It shouldn't be that way. And so if anything, that's what embarrasses me because it's like, come on, it's a slice of pizza. Like, it's really not forever. Just go to the kitchen for your lean and green. Go make yourself a cauliflower crust buffalo chicken pizza, okay? And you will be satisfied. You'll be fine. But yeah, so stay close with your coach because if you guys form a really good bonding connection, she or he would really have the best advice and just encouragement. Just take that time to connect and let them help you process. It's okay to rely on them. That's what they're there for. And no, we are not getting paid for it. Like, you're not paying us. Optavia is paying us. But yeah, we're just free to you at our own cost because we love what we do because this is a plan that has helped us. And yeah, that's why we do it. So number 3, I would say is whenever you're having a specific craving. So for example, I've used pizza and I've used a brownie as an example. So we have both of those options I just mentioned. Like if you're wanting a brownie, you're being tempted. We have a brownie fueling. Go make yourself something that is helpful to your craving. That's going to satisfy that. If you're in the mood for something sweet, go make yourself a brownie. If you need to like over sweeten it or something, look at your condiments list. Okay. You get 3 condiments in a day. You're welcome to, if you mapped it out right in your day, what I always do is for my lean and green, I'll use 1.5 to 2 condiments, and then I'll have 1 condiment to use randomly. However, I want to split it up with all my feelings if I want, with whatever feeling I want, if that makes sense. You also have your optional snack, which, could be a pickle, could be PB2, could be nuts. There are resources for you. And I would recommend talking to your coach because your coach would have the best advice for you in that, as far as hacks and what's going to work for you and what's going to help you reach your, best results. But something that I do is I try my best to curb my what I'm craving, and I would just have something sweet or have something salty. So like I mentioned, the pizza, go make yourself a cauliflower rice pizza. It is possible. You just gotta, again, have the connection to your coach and she can help you find something that is plan approved. The 5th thing that I do is I have my husband. My husband is such a good supporter. So along with my coach, my partner is so encouraging and super supportive of what I'm doing. He's also on plan with me. So we're really good at sticking to plan together. It's just, for me, I've realized that having him on plan, I don't want to derail him. I don't want to be the reason that he's eating off plan. So I always hide whenever I'm going to eat off plan. I'm like tucked away in the kitchen and he'll never know. Or I'll quick put something in my mouth before he sees me. Or, when it's like, no, use him to your advantage. Like the fact that you guys are on this plan together, be supportive, like support each other. Talk with your, if it's not your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, have a best friend. But it's always best to have somebody in your house that, maybe they're on the plan with you, or if they're just overall trying to get healthy with you, that'd be even better. Or if you just need them to support you emotionally, tell them, make sure to have that accountability person also, as well as your coach, and, make sure that they're available whenever you need them. Pick a person that you're close to that whenever you're like really struggling, you can either call them up or just be like, hey, I really need help right now because I need to be reminded of my goals. I need to remember my why, but right now I'm really in the mood for such and such, and I just need your help. A lot of this journey is simply asking for help, asking someone to remind you of what you need to hear. So yeah, hopefully this all made sense, and hopefully those 5 tips help you whenever you're feeling, feeling ready to be off plan, okay? Because I have been on this plan for going on 5 months on the 8th of February. And it's been a long journey. Yes, I've eaten normal food. I'm 90 pounds down currently. I guess I did not tell you guys that, but I'm super proud of myself. And it's just wild. Like, guys, 10 more pounds and I'm 100 pounds down. Like, I'm super excited, but you know, I gotta hold myself accountable because I have goals to reach. And if I'm not holding myself accountable to them, it's gonna take a long time, and I'm too broke to be on this plan for the rest of my life. So I have a lot at stake. In the beginning of this journey, we really struggled financially, like really bad. But my husband was like, babe, your health first, you should do it. You know, if it's gonna help you, you should do it. And so we made a lot of sacrifices to get to where we are now. We're doing a lot better financially for sure. But in the beginning, especially, it was like I had to be tight. I had to stick to the course, because if I didn't, that would mean I wasted an entire week of fuelings while I was eating things I shouldn't. So I wasn't getting the exact results that I would have been getting. Does that make sense? So again, if you're a person that, you know, you're on this plan, but you're like, I'm really still trying to save money and be careful that I'm not going over the budget too much, you know, you have a lot of stakes. So keep reminding yourself that, you know, I got to do what I got to do. Stop making excuses for yourself. We're really good at enabling ourselves, by the way. Really random thought. But anyways, I wanted to thank you guys for being here and joining me today and, you know, hearing everything that's going on in my brain. If you are wanting a closer look into my day-to-day life, I am more active on my Instagram and my TikTok as well. My links are down in the description below, so definitely go check them out. If you haven't already, hit subscribe because I post every Wednesday and every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I would hate for you to miss one of my videos. Also, please don't be afraid to like, share, comment, all those good things, because I feel like y'all are already so supportive in watching my videos, but you know, it doesn't take that much effort to click, right? Anyways, but yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and anything that you value and desire is worth the battle. Okay, so pick and choose, but you are worth it and you are loved. So have a good night. Bye.